Child, 2 words. Boot camp. He's got to do it. Come with Mighty Mouse. What you got to do is now gotta wipe those fingers and put in a 9-ball a couple times. Oh no. Because when you get something water, they have those live wires going down. You go there and drink the bathroom. Nah, I wish you. Yeah, it's live wires for sure. Yeah. So it's
Good morning. Good morning. It's about that time. We're gonna go ahead and get busy because we got action packed. It ain't about me. I'm just gonna say a few things and then play a short video, and then we're gonna keep on moving. All right. But in 2013, one thing people don't understand the concept when I said don't make resolutions, make reservations. You know, I feel like I'm young still. And I can come up, I want to sit in the back of the boat. All right, like, man, don't stop picking on me. I'm not picking on you. I'm like, but I feel like I'm young still, and I hear a lot of people say what they're going to do. And I know that the intentions are well, but there's something about action. And if you never implement action, everybody's saying feel-good words. And it's why executives rise to certain levels. It's why sports figures rise to certain levels. It's because everyone talks that game, but they don't actually go and do the behind-the-scenes things. Like I was telling Miss Diane this morning, I already know that my schedule's going to be different today because if I can go ahead and do the package tonight. So with that, that means I had to be a lifetime at 6 a.m. So that means I done got it in already. So I feel a little more energetic right now because, and you do actually, when you start your day off like that, you feel better, you know. But I'm watching other folks, but there's just something that went through my head. You know, I'd already told myself you just went 2 miles and you'll be done. Man, for some reason, when I got to like a quarter mile, that's 0.25 on the thing. It was like everything in my body was like, and then so your mind starts saying, man, you got like an hour 0.75 to go. You know, and you just start thinking, and it's like my legs started hurting, my feet started hurting. You know, it felt like I was getting tired and fatigued. And then I started saying, you know what, well, maybe I'll do it just a mile, and then I'll come back later. So when I got to a mile, then I had to beat myself up because like, nobody, you know you ain't coming back later. So I caught myself lying to myself. And it hit me as it started going, and then actually I turned it up there, and I'm like, that's your punishment, go faster. And I'm like, that's what people do, and it hit me. They lie to themselves. They know what they want to do, and they start to do it, but then all of that pain that goes with it. I sent out a message New Year's Day, said, hey, you want more money, you want to lose weight, you got to go through the pain to do it. Had, you know, my religious-minded folks reply back, brother, with God, it's going to be easy. And I replied back, Matthew 7, 13, and 14, difficult is the way to lead life, and if you can find it, ain't nothing easy about that. You know, that means with God, you know, you're guaranteed to win, but you still got to go through the difficult moments. So now the question is, as we all know, we got leaders, or everybody's a leader. Which really, from your last quarter's works, going into your next quarter's works, are you a quitter, a camper, or a climber? And that is only based on, no matter how great we say things, how we put it out there in the universe, as people say, I don't know where that came from, but you put it out there, and it's like, wow. Well, you still have to get up and go to the gym. You still have to get up and go speak to somebody to get them in this business. Other than that, we have lied to ourselves because we either quit or can't. And that's what it hit me. I'm like, oh, okay. If I would have stayed on my goal for weight loss, just in general, I would be 40 pounds lighter right now. But because I didn't, because at some point I must have quit and didn't tell myself. You know, you quit, you never admit it. People do that all the time. We can quit at everything. Now, I ain't quit yet, but I'm taking some time off. You quit. Or you camp out. It's like you're going through the motions. And this is where a lot of people are in life right now. They're going through the motions, but their motions are only going to keep them at that level that they're on. They'll never go and rise to the top like a climber that does. We're going to play this video. The next gentleman that'll be up after me will be Mr. Newman Thomas. New game happening, new year going on, and he's also, that's why you got to start with the new man. Y'all get it? I know what I'm doing. I just hope y'all know what y'all are doing. Here we go. And now this video, I jacked from another company, and yeah, I did. But it was good. I mean, I know the guy personally. He's a friend of mine. I can call him when we get done if you want to. I know the man. You know, he worked with me in Excel. But what he said in this video is the truth.
I want you to realize, though, guys, is that the 80-20 rule applies in life. The 80-20 rule says, and this is just a reality check in your business. The 80-20 rule says that if you have 10 people in your organization, you might have 2 of them that are working. And you might be one of the 2. Maybe. If you have 100 people in your organization, guys, 80 of them aren't going to do anything. But you don't concentrate on the 80, you concentrate on the 20. The 80-20 rule says that if you have 1,000 people in your organization, 800 of them are going to quit. And if you concentrate on the 800, you could get suicidal. How would you like to have 200 people at least trying? Guys, that's what this opportunity is all about. It's not, I stand up here and say, I got 170,000 people in my group. Yeah, big deal. Big deal. I've got 30,000 that are working. You can have the rest and I'll pass you in 6 months. You can have 150 of them, I'll take 30 and I'll pass you in 6 months. Understand that not everybody's going to do this. Andrew Carnegie once had 47 millionaires working for him at one time. And somebody said, how did you get 47 millionaires to come to work for you? He said, well, they weren't millionaires when I hired them. He said, okay, well, how do you find the quality person it takes to become a millionaire? And Andrew said, well, you go looking for millionaires like you go looking for gold. When you go looking for gold, you know you're going to have to move a lot of dirt. You just don't stick the shovel in and you come up and you've got a shovel full of gold. You stick the shovel in, you come up, you've got a shovel full of dirt. But you expect the dirt. You expect the dirt. So what do you do with it? You chuck it. Because you're not looking for the dirt. You're looking for the gold. That's the challenge in our business, guys. We're out there looking for the 20%ers. We're looking for the 20%ers. Now, the 80%ers, in some cases, are going to bring you a 20%. This business is just tough enough. It weeds out those who don't want to do it, so there's more for those who do. Okay? Guys, this business, if brain surgery were easy, there wouldn't be any money in it, right? If dirt was as plentiful as gold, if gold was as plentiful as dirt, it wouldn't have a value. So understand you're going to have to go through these speed bumps to get to where you want to be. So when you guys are sitting in this room here today, listening to these stories that I'm telling you, don't think you're the only one who's gone through this. You have, we talk about bugs on the windshield. There's a reason that car makers put a windshield on your car, because they expect bugs to hit it. And they also give you windshield wipers and windshield wiper fluid to brush them away. Why would you expect anything different in our business? Why would you expect anything different?
Right. So y'all, without further ado, we get to bring up the new man to bring his plan. Y'all welcome Newman.
All right, Newman. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Real good.
All right.
this, I'm gonna use this. Oh, did you get that 80-20 rule? Yeah. That's awful. I'm excited today. Green means go, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited today. There's just a lot going on, and I know I hear Brother Lockett right now saying, "Breathe."
Yeah.
I get so excited to share that I just want to tell everything that I ever learned all at once. But I'm gonna take that advice. First off, there's this show that comes on. I can't remember what channel it's called. It comes on, but it talks about these doomsday preppers. I don't know if anybody has heard about that. But they're doomsday preppers. These guys, and ladies and men, they go to the lengths to prepare for this cataclysmic event. Now, we know that I honor their spirit of preparation. It's just their philosophy is wrong. They don't. No one knows when the end's gonna come. But today I'm going to talk about your boomsday, being a boomsday prepper. Prepare for when you're going to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to talk about. And it starts with preparation. Your preparation, all right, here too, because I listen to the successful people. Charles uses formulas, so I have a formula too. So we're going to start with preparation. And with preparation, we're gonna go to Joshua, the first chapter out of the Word of God. And it says, then we're gonna start with the 10th verse. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, pass through the camp and command the people, saying, prepare provisions for yourselves, for within 3 days you will cross over this Jordan to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God is giving you to possess. Now, this is the main thing. I didn't even know Brother Paul was going to talk about camping, being a camper. But in verse 10, there was a command there. Prior to that, God was talking to Joshua about being courageous. Being courageous and not being afraid of the next level of where he has to go and where he has to take the people. But Joshua then commanded the officers. It wasn't a question. It was an order. And he told them to go through the camp, those campers, those people that are sitting still, waiting for things just to magically fall out the sky. You have to go, we have to go to them, especially in our JMG business, go to them and say, hey, it's time to move. It's time to go. Saying, prepare your provisions for yourselves. What are they talking about? The provisions are the things that are your necessities. The things that you need to get to your destination. That's what you do. When everyone's been on a vacation before, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go on a vacation, what do you have to prepare? You have to pack. But first, you have to set a destination of where you're going. You can't just go on a vacation. Well, I'm going on vacation. Where are you going? I don't know. First you have to start off with, where am I going? Do I have an end game? Joshua, they knew they were crossing the Jordan. They were going to Jericho. They were going to cross over and do that, cross the Jordan. And the thing about the Jordan is it was a fast river. It was a very powerful river. The next thing you have to do is you have to make that concrete decision to actually go. It was a command for people to get ready. Because the thing about it, these children of Israel were out there for years. So they went the ups and downs. There was a lot of fear going on. So oftentimes they were afraid to move, even though they were blessed constantly. But we get that way in our business, in our life, period. That we'll get to a point and it's like, okay, I'm here. I don't know which way to go next, so I'm just going to stay here because this is comfortable. I don't have to worry about anybody. I can smile every day. But you have to make that concrete decision to actually pick your stuff up, prepare your provisions. The message, in the message, it says pack your bags.
Mm-hmm.
Pack your bags and get ready to move. What will you have in your bag? What are your resources? What are your tools that you need? What are those provisions? What are those necessities? We have them laid out for us. Time and time again, we're encouraged to fill our mind with positive messages. We have awesome leaders here in the company that give us the knowledge that we need to make it daily. But we also have things like our first things first in our back office. Those things where those are our provisions. Those are our necessities to get across this river, across this fast-moving thing called life. We want to continue to utilize that in our preparation. Expectation. After preparing ourselves, setting our destination, making the decision to go, gathering our resources that are necessary for us to when we get to the next level. This is the thing. Let me go back one about the resources and tools that I forgot to mention. Oftentimes, the resources and the tools that we carry with us are those that we need for where we're currently located. We have to start getting to a point where we can pack in expectation. Okay, I'm going here. If you're going to Florida, you're not going to pack a winter coat. You following me? You pack for your expected destinations, right? So you begin to operate for your expected destination. When you're going to Florida, you realize that you're probably not going to have that many clothes on. So what do? You go to the gym. So you can look good. So you can look good for your expected destination. So not only are you preparing your necessities, you're preparing your mind, your body to be ready for that next level. We have to do that in this business. We have to prepare ourselves to blow up. We have to act like we've already blown up. Mm-hmm. Carry ourselves in that manner. That's expectation. Your state of mind. Your state of mind is key. Your state of mind is key in your expectation. Because you really can only move as far as your mind will allow you to move. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you think yourself small, you will be small. It's really that simple. And I love this quote by Jim Rohn. Your income is directly related to your philosophy, not the economy.
That's good.
This is a state of mind. We've seen it time and time again. I did the math the other day talking to a person, and they were saying that what they can and cannot afford. And I said, okay, well, let's break it down. We're talking about the J&G business, and They were like, yeah, I just really need something else. I really want to make some extra money. I said, cool. And I said, tell me this. If it costs $200 to do something to make hundreds, even thousands, would you do it? Yeah. I said, okay. Well, if it costs less than $200, would you do it? Well, yeah. I said, okay. I looked at CNN Money, that website, and it said that the average individual in 2012, just for Black Friday, that Black Friday weekend, spent an average of $423. I'm saying, wow, that's just a weekend. And people, and this person was saying, man, I don't have the money, but I know you got a new TV. And then I said, well, sometimes we go to lunch like twice a week. We get a $5 foot long or whatever. I said, man, we did that twice a week. We did that twice a week at $5 for 52 weeks. But it's twice a week. That's $10 a week, 52 weeks. That's $520 buying sandwiches. thinking that, oh, we're just going to lunch twice a week. That's nothing, you know? And then I said, let's just throw in the fact that I went to, we went to probably one or two, let's just say 5 movies that year. That's $50. When I did the math and told them, I said, you probably spent close to $1,000 this year in 2012. I said, well, okay, well, let's start the business. Oh, man, I can't afford it. What? Where is your mind? Where are you thinking? What are you preparing for? Just to continue to eat sandwiches? Because that was the next thing. Man, forget this. I'm hungry. Let's go eat. What? Understand your state of mind. Understand your state of mind. And when you can understand that, your mind will allow you to manifest your expectation. I'll get to that in a second. Preparation of the mind directly affects your expected end. You cannot get to your expected end if you've never placed it in your mind.
That's right.
It's impossible. It's not like, oh, hey, I made it. You don't trip into making it.
That's right.
You set that destination, you set that expectation that you are going to make it. And what happens in our natural biology is the moment that, see, our mind is an amazing thing, because it cannot decipher what you can and cannot do. Your mind, if you can think about it, you can really do it.
That's right.
It's that simple. But when you think you can't do it, you really can do it if you follow it. What does it say? What you believe and what you don't believe, you're right. Something of that nature. But it's the expectation that we must have that follows our preparation. So preparation equals expectation. Directly related. The more you prepare, the more your expected end, you have a larger outcome in your expected end. I want to show you this this quick clip here about expectation.
is play.
Today, coach, there's another argument still. That the answer to come to that question. Who am I? I'm the champion. That's right. You remember all this game. I will conquer what is not conquered. People locked in my faith. I will believe without a doubt. I will always endeavor to understand my respect my team. I train my mind and my body to fall. Who am I? I'm the champion. I will not back to my opponent. Do not expect me to win. But I will never surrender. Weakness will not be in my heart. I will look to my comment and the Lord will force me to work and the Lord will train me. And I will draw strength from that. Who am I? I'm the champion. I will try to go on to feel about it. And I will move through everything I can do. And I will beat my field of battle and everything in my soul. And when I get there, I will fight violently. I will break the heart of my enemies that they can put on the ground. Because he cannot stop me. Who am I? I'm the champion. To my side, I have comrades. Comrades that beat you with single day. Who sacrifice for every year. Never will I let them fall. Never will I let them down. And I will never leave them behind. Because our opponent does not know my heart. Who am I? I'm the champion. No one can deny me. No one will define me. And no one will tell me who and what I am in this day. But we will change our world. It is my time, it is my fight, it is my battle alone. And it will carry me through this battle. Who am I? I'm the champion. Defeat, retreat, those are not in my word. I don't understand those definitions. I don't understand when things go wrong. I don't understand respect. I do understand this. I understand victory, and I understand never surrendering. No matter how bad things go, my heart, my mind will carry my body, my limbs through me. Who am I? I'm the champion. The day will be that day. That's why I'm done next week. I'm right now, right here, in your house, in your home. Who am I? I'm the champion. That's who will remember me. I will not lose my every go. I will find myself. I will have my own person. And I will never when I get what I win. I will never go wrong. Not when I did everything I got. Who am I? I'm the champion. 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 I'm the champion.
I'm ready to go get in that.
All right.
Sit up for action.
All right. That pumped me up every time. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it. I love to watch that. But that it's amazing. It's amazing to see what a coach has to do as a leader. Mm-hmm. A coach has to be able to motivate. And in some cases, place the expectation in the minds of the people that are following them. And we have to do that as leaders. We have to motivate those that have put their trust in us as leaders to follow us to the destination. Okay? Because we have a vision. And then with that vision, we receive provision. So we have to utilize those things. So I have a couple quotes here from one of the greatest, sometimes noted as the greatest coach to ever coach the game of football. And it makes me think of the manifestation. So preparation equals expectation, which equals manifestation. They all work hand in hand. They all work hand in hand. The more you prepare, the more you expect. The more you expect, the more will be manifested in your life.
That's right.
And it works the other way. The least you prepare, the least you start to expect. People that don't prepare don't expect much.
That's right.
And of course, nothing ever happens because they don't expect it to happen. So it's all directly related to your preparation. Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. Preparing yourself to go out, to chase after that destination, that expected end. Moving and moving and moving. The more you do it, the more that you will change your habits. Because we're habitual creatures. So we can only live in habit. Regardless of what you may say, the things that you do, the life that you live is some form of habit. Now you have good habits and you have bad habits. Because we're habitual creatures, habits can only be traded by other habits. So all your bad habits you have to develop good habits to push those out. If we have 100 habits, if we're just given 100 habits from birth, that's what we have. Now it depends on where you're going. You may be 60-40 on the negative side, 70-30 on the positive side, but you have 100 habits that will dictate how you live. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man. Sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Before we started this morning, Brother Paulie was talking about his son, how he just hates to lose. I share in that. I share in that attitude. But I like what another quote that Vince Lombardi says is that winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all the time thing. If we lose a game, it's because we ran out of time. It's not because we didn't think we could win. It's because we simply ran out of time. He was always expected to win, expected to get to that goal that they set in the beginning of the season, the preparation, and continually put the expectation, which manifested Super Bowl wins. The other one, and then I'll be just about done, is that he says is that winning, if you don't want to win, you're in the wrong place. If winning is not something that you placed in your mind, you're not in the right place. We're here to win. Absolutely. As a team. That's right. Because we are champions. Yes, sir. Say it with me. I am a champion. I am a champion. Say it with me. I am a champion. I am a champion. You at home, say it with me. I am a champion. I am a champion. So, with that said, I'm gonna bring up an amazing champion, one that will take you to another level in thinking, another level in understanding, and if you want to, he'll take you to another level physically. So, I have a ton of respect for this guy. When I came into the business, it was always open arms, and I appreciate him for that. It means so much to me to be able to have somebody I can call a mentor, who, regardless of how often I talk to him, there's always positive feedback to propel me forward, to help me be better, as a great champion coach should be. So if you can, welcome Senior Director Child Lane. All right.
Everybody, give a round of applause to Newman today. It's not easy to get up here, bro. All right. How's everybody doing today? Man, you know, I've had the privilege of opening up training
for, what is it, a couple years now. And I know the Spirit moved because I witnessed it after I see William Black come up and Paul come up and they go, Chow, the Spirit is in training. He's like, he basically did my training. And I know that the Spirit moves, and when the Spirit moves, it speaks in one voice. And I hear that, and with the new year coming, I'll stay on this whole track of people going to the gym and everything, right? Going to fit. Let me tell you why I'm fit. And I'm not ashamed of being fit. Most people kind of hide that, hide their wealth and be afraid of what other people will say and things like that. The reason why I am fit is not because I'm this little guy that pushes so hard all the time. It's because my mind somewhere along the line when I was younger enjoyed being around bigger guys. I liked playing the game of basketball. At one time, I swore I was going to the NBA. All of my friends were like 6 feet tall or taller. Because the ones that were really tall had a really good chance. The one that was 6 feet playing point guard, like 6 foot point guard. That's what you're going to be. When I decided I wanted to go to NBA, I was 4'3". 4'3". I was 4'3" tall in the 9th grade. Freshman. Bum, bum, bum. I was quick, but I'm telling you, I bounced around like a pinball machine. Doing it everywhere, like, man. So you know what I did? I went to the gym and I worked out with them bigger guys. And then one day I figured out leverage. Boom, if I get down low, those guys can't push me so easy because when I'm pushing on their knees, they kind of topple over. When I dribble down here, their center of gravity is over. So I'm like, you know what? I can use this. But I kept working out with them. I kept running with them. Do you understand how fast my legs move in order to keep up with them tall guys? They're like gazelles. They're like, Chad, your legs look like wheels. And they just spin. It's like, because you guys are tall. You look so graceful. I have to go at it. And then all of a sudden these guys who are lifting weights with average bodies, and then I show up and they're like, man, he's huge. He's just cut up. It's like, you don't understand. An average weight for that guy is a heavy weight for me. When he lifts his body weight, it's twice my body weight. Right. And the Lord says, you know what? Going to 10th grade, I'm going to let you grow like a foot. I don't know where in the world that growth spurt came with, but I'm telling you, going to 10th grade, 11th grade, I became me now. And I said, you notice everyone's like, yo, you smile like, yo, you just don't know. When you were 4'3" and it was cute with the ladies, or you were just a little teddy bear, it's all cute and everything, but you want to grow up to be the man bear at some point. You know? Do you guys know what I'm saying? But it comes back to this. If you are timid of being around people who are bigger than you, you're never going to aspire to those levels that those guys are at. I'm not playing the NBA today, but I'm telling you the money's still good. But it taught me so many lessons along the way. So as we go on this, in JMG, we talk about lifestyle transformation all the time. We focus on this lifestyle. But sometimes we forget about that second word, transformation. Changing. Okay? And it's one step at a time. Because a lot of times we adopt this mentality and we look at it kind of the wrong way, where we go, it's either all or it's nothing. And then when people start weighing the options of all, they go, man, that's a whole lot. So I'm going to do nothing. Because it's easier for our mind to comprehend. So it's one step at a time. It wasn't easy being bounced around all the time. It wasn't easy getting in there. Oh, and the Spirit flows. It's not about being easy. We have one of the most simple business plans I've ever seen in my entire life. It is so simple, but it is not easy. It is not easy to move a mountain, but it is simple. You pick up a rock and you throw it over there. How did it work in the gym? When I first started out in the gym, it wasn't even in the gym area. It was at home with one of my brothers. And I was putting on, the bar is 45 pounds, guys. The bar is 45 pounds. I had a hard time just lifting the bar up. I was that scrawny. Just scrap. Right? It was hard time picking it up. And he slaps on a 45 on one side, slaps a 45 on that side, and he goes, lift it. I was like, I have a hard time lifting the bar. And I'm pushing. And he goes, I'll spot you. Lifts the weight off just so I can feel what 135 pounds felt like. It was heavy. That bar basically slammed down like this, and my mic could only just keep it from crushing me. And then he grabs it and he lifts it up and he goes, come back when you can lift this weight. When I went back into the gym, it wasn't to slap on 45 pounds on and slap them all up there. Do you realize how many times I was laughed at going into the gym? When I was lifting what the girls were lifting, and all the guys like, you know they have pink weights? You know they have pink weights, right? And that's why they call them kind of the girly weights. And you kind of curl like that. You know, I'm just kind of telling on myself. But I didn't go in lifting 145 pounds. But let me tell you what, a couple of years later, when I grabbed my brother and I go, hey, come in the gym, and it was our home gym, because I knew something that he didn't do at the time, which was put up 300 pounds. And I kept slapping the weights. He goes, oh, so you put up 45s now? I was like, yeah, you put up a couple more too. Slap, slap. You know when you put up 45 pounds, the bar bends? The bar bends. Have you ever seen metal bend before? Have you ever felt metal bend? Oh, it feels good. Scary as heck, but it feels good. That's how it goes down, and you go, bah! Throw it up once, and you throw it up twice, and he goes, hey, when you put that up, come on back. Oh, it was a good day. It was a good day to feel like when you're out there on the basketball court and people smash up against you and you stay put, and then there's this look. It wasn't like an eye-to-eye thing. It was like, what the heck? How come you didn't move? It wasn't easy, but the steps are simple. You move that mountain by each rock, but when are people going to quit? You just heard everybody, the climbers, the campers, right, and the quitters. When are you going to quit? If you haven't answered that question, you should leave this room now. You should never have a question about whether or not you're going to make it. You're going to reach out and you're going to grab that pebble and you're going to throw it that way. And that spirit that you carry with you, when they go, why don't we throw that pebble? Because throwing this pebble gets me what I want. What is it that you want? And you share that dream with enthusiasm, people are going to start picking up rocks with you. People who are stronger than you, faster than you, with more resources, right, start coming with this big old machinery, and all of a sudden this mountain starts moving that much quicker, with that much quicker, right? It just moves and moves and moves. How do you build a billion-dollar company? You find people who are willing to pick up those stones, and then soon these dreams start accumulating to the point where it's $1 billion a year. And it's not $1 billion a year. It's living in all of us right now. How do we accumulate what we have right now to move that much in a year? It is simple. It is not easy, but it is simple. So if you walk up to this sheer wealth and success thinking that, you know, what I have right now alone, by myself, will do it, you're going to end up quitting. You're going to end up quitting. Because it's that faith and the belief that draws that as you keep pushing, you're going to get it. It's going to propel you forward. I do this picture because I'm kind of a picture guy, you know, and they remind me of Newman as he's talking about this kid, his kid last Tuesday. Do you want to read that?
It says, get cake, wear cake, fly.
That's it. That's it. When we're little kids, that's all we thought. It wasn't complicated. It was very simple. We're going to get the cake, and then we're going to wear the cake. And that's about as far as a lot of us got. I see a lot of people in the world, as far as they get, because when they put on that cake, everyone, what do you think, you're Superman now? What do you think, you're Wonder Woman now? You lift up and fly? That looks kind of funny. Where's our cake? You like that? Mental state? You like its mental state? Oh, the spirit moves. I'm going to expand on that. Put this picture up right. Mindset, reset. Who here has gone on vacation? The holidays come, we kind of went and visit our families here and there. Maybe some of our families came to town or whatnot. What is it about it? I make this pretty objective here, because when we're here, And a lot of people see their reality of where it's at. You realize that your current reality is just a mindset. That is just your current state of mind where you are right now. If you feel that your problems are bigger than you, it's just a mindset. Because what happens when you go on that vacation? What happens when you leave the state? What happens when you leave the state? All of a sudden your problems are a state away. A state away. And everything seems to be manageable. No, it's not such a big deal. It's not such a big thing, right? And we go back and we handle these things. What is it about when we get back to our normal state that we go, man, this is getting kind of tough. I'm not sure if I can do this. What is it about that? So is it the physical state or is it the mental state of where we're at? I'm telling you, the physical state does affect your mental state, but your mental state does overcome your current state of mind. It's tough. So you keep your mind there, you keep moving in the direction, you keep moving to locations, you keep moving next to people who are constantly where you want to go so you can stay there. So you can stay there. Because when you return back to home, I know everyone's gone through this. I don't care how successful you are. At some point in time, when something's beat you down and you're sitting on your couch and you're not moving, nothing seems to move. And then as soon as you get off that couch and you open the doors and go outside and the fresh air hits your face, something changes, doesn't it? You got to keep yourself there on a constant basis. Communication. Oh, I've experienced this a lot lately. And it's increased. It's drawn revelation in my life. What is that a picture of? Babies crying. Babies crying. It's increased my level of patience and my understanding, and God just constantly pours all this knowledge into me, right? And each day as I learn these lessons, it's like, okay, maybe one day I will become a wise old man, you know? Maybe. I'm looking at that as like, he just doesn't know how to communicate. My little boy, at the moment, he just doesn't know how to speak to me at the moment. So what does he do? He cries. So he has like 4 or 5 different cries. So when he has that one cry that you know nothing's wrong, I'm like, Evan, you know nothing's wrong. And then I switch over to Vietnamese, I tell him in Vietnamese, and then I switch over to Spanish and tell him in Spanish. So he knows in 3 different languages, and then the 4th language, I just look at him. He's like, hey. Absolutely nothing's wrong. Communication. Let me tell you from this perspective. I'm speaking to you in English right now, and I'm speaking to you about wealth. So I think in 2 different languages. When I flip back and forth, right? When I speak in English, I think in English. When I speak to you in Vietnamese, which would make no sense right now, I think in Vietnamese. When I speak in Spanish, I've trained myself to the point where I stop translating between the two because there are things that are lost in translation. So I think in Spanish. So when I speak about wealth and I live out wealth, I live and think in wealth.
That's right.
So that you don't lose things in translation when you hear people talk about the principles of wealth. This last election, I know you heard it. You know, if you want to go to school or you have a business you want to start up, go ask your parents. I won't even tell you which politician, but if you just Google it or YouTube it, you'll probably find it real quick. And people demonize them for that. But you know what? Where he's speaking from? A perspective of wealth. It is not a crime that your parents have enough money to fund your next business or fund your next, wherever college you're going to. It is not a crime to do that. I am waiting for the day where Evan marches up. And I hope it's like, when he's like this big. Dad, what's that? He goes, I have a business idea. Yes, son, what is that? You know, he goes, I want to open up a lemonade stand. Well, that's how you open up a lemonade stand, son. You know, and then I'll fund it. Right. When he goes to college, I'm going to fund that. That's right. But he has to tell me what type of business I'm investing in. It's set there for him, but how is he going to utilize that money? There's nothing wrong with that. And there are things that are lost in translation every day, and you're going to draw from a place that is not too positive if you don't constantly improve yourself in the areas of wealth. Brother Newman said at the very beginning that you need to plan for the resources and tools. JMG net worth here with my financial worth, it isn't complicated. It is very simple. Where you want to go is where you want to go. Why you want to go there is why you want to go there. We know that if you want to be wealthy, you need tools. When I learn Spanish, I pull up the dictionary. When I learn more Vietnamese, I pull out the dictionary. When I learn more of English, I pull out the dictionary. Right? And I pull all these things to improve my proficiency in those languages. So when it's wealth, I pull up my credit and I find out, how can I better my credit? How can I improve more on taxes? Right? Because when you aspire to the multimillionaire side, you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes.
That's right.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. I'm going to say that one more time because some people go, oh, it's easy. It's expectation. When you see hundreds of thousands of dollars go away, in some minds they go, oh, I'm losing this. No, that's just the way the game is played here in the United States or anywhere in the world. We're putting taxes, we're paying those taxes so that we can improve our physical world out here. Now, a small fraction of that, gets mismanaged and all that, and then people fall in those conspiracy theories and all that. But man, we live in a great country.
Yes, we do.
Trust me in that perspective, okay? We talk about our education system and how it's broken and how it can be better and all this other stuff. But you know what? When a kid from the projects can walk into a public school and get education and learn how to read a book, that is something. That is something, and it's paid for. When you can't get enough to eat at home and you have food in the school system that feeds you, that is something.
Mm-hmm.
That is something. Okay? When we better ourselves and we can be there, because I'm telling you, there are so many studies right now, it doesn't matter what school you go to. It doesn't matter what school you go to. If the parents at home working with the child just improves.
Yeah.
The child just improves. Why? Because it matters to the parents, it will matter to your child. That's it. Communication. Let's not lose things in translation along the way by dibble-dabbling, when we're supposed to speak in wealth and we entertain not wealthy language.
Right.
Stick in wealth. Stick in wealth. Take that from someone who speaks multiple languages. When you go back and forth in languages, don't just stick with one and communicate in one and figure it out. There are things that are lost in translation. Don't lose that. Live in the life. Put up this picture right away so you know what I'm talking about. Theory and practice. Theory and practice. How do you get better at something? I'll tell you what. It just makes me happy seeing Newman get up here, and train, because it takes me back to the very first times that I got in front of the room. I was scared as heck the first time I got in front of the room. Could barely think about what in the world I wanted to say. If I try to think really hard, I can't remember. I can't really remember what it was like to get my first $1 million, or my second $1 million, or my third $1 million. I can't really remember those, but I remember the steps I took. And it was like the same steps over and over and over and over and over again. All of a sudden, the money was there, but it was because of the lifestyle that you live. I can't tell you, when you say, hey, what is it like to close a person and then close a deal, let's say, and then get someone to join you on a team. I don't know that, but I remember the first time I went out, I really didn't know what to say to a person. But it took that first time to go out to not know what to say to a person, so the next time to better know what to say to a person. And that same exact thing for that one person didn't work for that other person. And it took me the first time to speak to that other person to figure out how in the world to speak to that other person. But it's that repetition over and over and over and over and over again with the proper instructions that we get it right. It's the same thing as the first time I went in there, I couldn't put up 145. But I can't tell you, well, I can tell you how it felt to put up 300 because I remember that day vividly. But I remember it was the same principles that went up to put it every single weight between 45 and 300. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can sit here and you can figure out every theory, every scenario that you're going to encounter. But it's a constant flow, because that's what wealth is. That's what cash flow is. It's a constant flow. You don't know what comes with the flow. Sometimes it's fast, like the River Jordan. Sometimes it's slow, because when the Mississippi starts, you go up to Lake Itasca up there in northern Minnesota. in the wintertime, and then spring comes, and this little trickle just comes down. But you go down south where the Mississippi Delta is, and that's something else altogether. That's just ferocious. But how do you handle that between there and there? It's the accumulation of the little things that make the big things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just walk into a room one day and you're the big shot.
Right.
You don't just walk into a room one day and you're super wealthy. Because I hear all younger kids out there who are trust fund babies. He goes, do you know what those trust fund babies go through between the time they're this big until they're well, I want this big, so I go this big, right? Or this old, so that their mind is ready to take on that trust.
Mm-hmm.
And do you realize that most trusts are written up in such a way that the kid isn't ready, the kid doesn't get it.
That's right.
If the kid isn't ready, the kid doesn't get it. He goes, man, your mom and dad were so wealthy. Why were you having such a hard time? You know? And you see some kids who constantly push. He goes, I'm just not ready yet. Well, they wrote, I was like, I'm not ready yet. And then some kids, get extremely mad. Like, oh, I'm entitled to this. This is supposed to be mine. This is supposed to be mine. But they're still not ready for it. I don't want us to look like those 3 kids in there that's crying because we don't know how to speak wealth.
It's good.
And then eventually we learn these different cries. They have nothing to do with wealth, but people just recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
Some go, here's a nook, calm down, and some people just walk away, right? It doesn't always walk away in the sense of people, but it's opportunities, because it's a flow. The flow doesn't stop. It constantly comes to you right now. So in practice, you don't get better unless you get better. That's as simple as I can put it. So the next man that I bring up, he's just practicing the flesh, right? He's getting better. He got his varsity shirt. He got a whole sweater on today. He's like, this is a fraternity of success. He's like, if you don't got it, you can get one. Just got to practice and get better. Everybody welcome William Black.
Hey, y'all giving up a child. I'm so proud to see Brother Newman up here, because it reminded us, Child was saying about when I first got up here. And the advice I gave him was advice that I had to learn. Because when I first started, I told you, I really don't, I didn't feel comfortable when speaking in front of people. So all these racing thoughts through your head, and you like you said, you just want to share everything you know. So it's trying to, coordinate your thoughts and get your words together. So I'm like, just breathe. I tell you, President Obama, boy, he just is so smooth.
Yeah.
You see how slow he speaks? He don't race through nothing. So that's why I like, just slow down a little bit. But how y'all doing today?
Oh, great.
Y'all doing all right?
Yeah.
Fight or flight. I've just been doing some real thinking on, our presentation where we show the 95 and the 5%, right? And going along with what the other traders did is more because this is what I came up with. So this is 100%, okay? And this is people, right? And so we talk about that 95% right, shares in 5% of the wealth, where 5% of the population owns 95%, right? So on the flip side,